Little league numbers up against Chin-Ming Wong. First time ever that two pitchers, 5-0 or better, faced each other while both teams have a record of 500 or worse. Lee looking sharp, got Derek Jeter, took 3 pitches to get rid of Bobby Abreu. Melky Cabrera, 3 and gone. Top 4, Wong down 1-0 in the game, facing Casey Blake. 2 outs, oh, he's going to heaven. Johnny Peralta's going to score 2-0 Indians. Blake 1 for 3, and the Ribby, yeah, I could have made that call. He's safe. Top 5, same numbers. David DeLucci up, 2 on, 1 out. DeLucci, not a 3-run homer, just a base knock, but that counts. Andy Marte scores. Tribe takes a 3-zip lead. DeLucci 1 for 4 with his rib. Bottom 6, 2 on, 2 out for Hideki Matsui. Bit of a jam there for Lee, not so much. Uncle Charlie shows up to end that inning, and in the 7th, Jose Molina goes down. Lee, 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 Ks. He is excellent. Cliff Lee, 2 first names, good pitcher. Sox now before the game, good paint job. Nick Swisher, Toby Hall, John Danks, Bobby Jenks get the facial hair dyed pink in honor of Mother's Day and to raise awareness for breast cancer. Top first, Mark Burley facing the leadoff hitter, Carlos Gomez. And Gomez, that's how you lead off a ball game right there. 4-base hit, the home run is second of the season. Twins lead 1-zip. Top 5, Twins up 1-0 still. Gomez, the liner to left center. He's getting that one. Matt Tolbert's going to score easily from second. Gomez just going to keep turning left till he gets to third base. In with the triple. Twins leading 2-0. Top 6, Gomez, runner on second, 2 outs. Another base knock. Carlos Quinton can't make the play. Gomez ends up with a double, gets to third on an error by Swisher. Burley's night finish, 5 2/3, 9 hits, 7 earned. He's not happy there, as you see in the dugout. Gomez, he's all cheery. Single away from the cycle, right? He's going backwards at the home run, the triple, the double. How about the single? In the 9th, chopper off Aaron Wasserman. He can't handle it, and infield single, yeah. Scorer says, give him the big H. Gomez. 8th cycle in Twins history, first do it since Kirby Puckett as the Twins cruise to a 13-1 win. So Gomez, the prized prospect in the Johan Santana deal, paying off for the Twins, becomes the 3rd youngest player in the divisional era to hit for the cycle at just 22 years and 155 days of age. So we recap now. Tuesday, Twins team, 1 base hit. Wednesday, 1 twin. He got every kind of base hit. Good night for Gomez. Why do you need to know about Joey Votto? Well, he's from Canada, Toronto, and it is Marines hockey night. And he conked a bunch of home. Oh, don't lose your head. That's disappointing if you're the mascot. Ow! Never let a giant bear drive you around an ATV. There's a lesson in that for you, children. Second inning, no score. Votto deep to right off John Lieber, and the Reds are up 1-zip. Well, that was so much fun. Adam Dunn's like, I can do that too. He's country strong, and he hits that, as always, 9 miles. He hits no little wall scrapers. 2-0. 1 out later, Paul Baca takes Lieber deep. Well, they're just abusing this. This isn't before the game batting practice. This is the actual major league game. 3rd Reds homer of the inning is 3-0. Still in the 2nd. Joey Harrison deep left going 4th in the inning. His first start of the season, Lieber gives up 4 homers in the 2nd. Not what he wanted. Top 3rd. Felix Pie goes down. Edinson Volquest gets Ronnie Cedeno. Then Aramis Ramirez swinging. Volquest, 7 innings pitched, 10 Ks. We go bottom 5. The Reds offensive surge continuing. Brandon Phillips takes Sean Marshall's pitch deep to left. We need a humidor in Cincinnati. Off the pole, Reds up 6-0. Now Votto's going to get out there and start conking some more. Get out. 2nd homer of the day. Reds up 7-0. When's Canada Day? That's coming up, right? Soon? Bottom 6 now, 1 on for Votto. Sean Gallagher, that's going again. 3rd homer of the game, 9-0. We got another shot at Votto. How about 4? 3's good, 4's better. 4's not happy. Michael Wirtz, yeah.
Trade him.
Yep, he's terrible. Reds are going to win this thing 9-0. Joey, he is a big red machine all by himself.
When I hit the 3rd one, it felt great. So the first 2, the first one was important because it started up the scoring, and the 2nd one was nice to have a 2nd in the game, and then the 3rd one was just, it was really, really cool. It's the first time I've ever done that.
Melrose called Canada Day, July 1st. Votto, just the 4th first baseman under the age of 26 to hit at least 3 homers in a game in the last 50 years. Votto has owned the Cubs this season, hitting 5 of his 7 homers against Chicago. And as you see there, the other 3 players to do that,
yeah,
exceptional.
If you have any more Canada questions, you can call Don Cherry now, too.
Yeah, we can.
Red Sox Tigers, this was crazy. Armando Galarraga, a 1.88 ERA this season. The rookie pitcher for the Tigers going up against David Ortiz and the Red Sox. That is what we call a slow curve. How slow? 56 miles an hour. You got to see this curveball again. You want to talk about dropping off the table? I mean, that's going to hit his batting helmet. And that's going to drop at Big Papi Z's. That's a big curveball, and Ortiz was able to laugh about it in the dugout. Tigers up 7-4 in the bottom of the fifth. Placido Polanco had himself a ball game. Ivan Rodriguez would score fourth hit for Polanco. Red Sox down 3, 2 on from Mike Lowell. Get out of town. 3-run shot, second homer of the season. Tied the game at 8. Kevin Youkilis, by the way, not pictured, hit 2 home runs in the game. Top of the 8th. Still tied at 8. Dustin Pedroia, pinch hitting, singles through the hole. J.D. Drews scores, and the Red Sox have their first lead of the game at 9-8. Bottom 8, 2 on for Gary Sheffield. And they're running. Shep strikes out swinging. Jason Varitek throws out Maglio Ordonez trying to steal third. To the 9th, Jonathan Papelbon in to close it out. Edgar Renteria at the plate with a man on first. And Renteria hits it to his opposite number. Shortstop Julio Lugo. That's another error for Lugo. Both runners are safe. 2 on for Detroit after a sacrifice bunt. Meeting on the mound, Curtis Granderson. Grounds to second. That'll get a run home. The Tigers tie it at 9. Next batter is Polanco. We told you he had himself a ball game. It's about to get even better. This is a 3-2 pitch in a 9-9 game in the 9th. Broken bat single, bloops in. Polanco, 7th career walk-off hit. That's his 5th hit of the game. And his bat breaks, and with it, so does the Tigers' 5-game losing streak. Polanco raises his average from 238 to 270, and might be able to tell Jonathan Papelbon that's his first blown save of the season. What a game. The Tigers beat the Red Sox 10-9.
Nationals Astros. Lance Berkman 9 for his last 10, including 5 in a row Tuesday. 7 hits in his last 7 at-bats, and let's make it 8 for 8. The home run off Odalis Perez. Astros down 1 after Berkman's 11th homer of the year, and again, 8 consecutive hits. That ties the franchise record. Didn't get number 9, but did finish 2 for 3. Ryan Zimmerman, that's a big hit off Roy Oswalt, his 2nd homer of the game. 5th of the year. We're tied at 3. Top 7, Paul LaDuca. Plate. Fouls off the pitch from Oswalt immediately. Yep, that's going to hurt a lot for a long time. Take another look. LaDuca lets the bat go with his right hand during the swing. Ouch. He'll leave the game. And as he does, he's yelling at a couple of fans sitting in the first row behind the Nationals dugout. They're ejected. LaDuca replaced by Will Nieves. In the 9th, Carlos Lee line drive to center field. Lasting's Millage playing shallow over his glove. Kazmat Sui scores. Houston's 8th straight win. 8th career walk-off hit for Carlos Lee. Carlos or Cliff?
John Maine would benefit from that. Bottom of the first, scoreless. Andre Ethier hits one in the foul territory. Angel Pagan going over to the rail, falls over, makes the nice grab. Watch Pagan. Great concentration, gives up the body. And they show it on the replay. And Pagan's able to laugh at himself. It's all fun and games when you make the catch. Mets at a 5-0 lead. Bottom of the 4th. Here's John Maine. Strikes out Matt Kemp. And the next at bat, Maine getting Jeff Kent. So first Kemp, then Kent. Maine 8 1/3, 1 earned, wins his 3rd straight start. Maine is an 074 hitter with 3 career RBIs. That was an 0-2 pitch from Brad Penny. How about Maine's ball game? A 2-run single. Brad Penny the other way, 4 2/3, 10 earned, tied with 5 other pitchers for allowing the most runs ever against the Mets. And then Church.
And that baby is going to go up into the seats. And it is 12.
Now, when you say that baby is going to go up into the seats, hey, Vin, do you mean that baby? I mean, I don't know if that's good parenting or not, but that's a good catch. Church, a 6th home run. Mets tie a team record for the biggest win in franchise history over the Dodgers. They had an 11-0 win way back when. Diamondbacks still have the best record in the majors. Phillies try to cut into that. Micah Owings on the hill for the D-backs. And Owings staying hot with the bat. Remember, the pitcher that can hit, sometimes in a pinch. Owens with 1 for 3. Drops his average to .417. Connor Jackson, the birthday boy, 26 years old, finds the gap. Eric Burns would score. That's the 10th go-ahead RBI of the season for Connor Jackson, the most in the majors. Top of the 8th, Chad Qualls strikes out Shane Victorino. The ball gets away. Watch Victorino collide with Jackson at first base. This looked serious, and it was. Jackson, who has hits in 17 of 19 games, not including that hit, was dazed, would leave the game under his own power. Chase Utley comes up with a single to center. Utley, 10 home runs, 18 RBIs his last 20 games. Phillies have won 7 of the last 10 on the road.
Cardinals, Rockies, St. Louis 10 games over 500 and carrying a 3-0 lead into the 8th, but it's 3-1 with 2 outs. Rockies trailing. Garrett Atkins, pop foul ball to the first base side. Now Albert Pujols overruns it, tries to grab with his bare hand. No, the inning continues. It's a play he should have made, said manager Tony La Russa, who you saw there at the top of the highlight. Randy Flores walks Atkins to put the tying run on first base. La Russa calls Jason Isringhausen. Ryan Spielberg. Spielberg's into pinch hit against Izzy. Spielberg singles to left. Matt Holliday will score. The Rockies within 1. Next batter, Chris Iannetta, who is a former driller. He triples to right field, rattling around there in the corner. Atkins will score. Spielberg will score. The Rockies take a 4-3 lead, and they will win 4-3, all because they got an extra out in the inning.
Zito back from the bullpen, starting for the Giants against the Pirates. Phil Dumitrade, who's never won in 17 big league appearances. Zito had spent the past 10 days trying to work out his problems in the pen. Did it pay off? Well, here with runners in the corners, get Xavier Nady in the bottom of the first to get out of an early jam. Bottom of the second, man on. Brian Bixler lines out to Jose Castillo, and then he throws out Ronnie Paulino at first to double him up. Bottom of the fourth, man on first for Nady. And this time off Zito, get out of town. Nady, a 2-run shot, his 5th of the season. Pirates up 2-zip. Man on first for Nate McLeod. Having a good stretch here, but that hard liner is caught by Rich Aurelia. And then he's already right there. That's an easy double play. Zito done for the night. 5 innings, 5 hits, just 2 earned runs, but he loses again.
O's and A's. Who wants to buy a vowel? Anybody ever notice it's always hard to read sports scores when Vanna's working the bottom line? Top 8. Orioles down 4-2. The bases Chuck. Ryan Roberts comes through. Kevin Millar comes home. Adam Jones does the same, and we are tied at 4. Next batter in the lineup's Melvin Mora. Good to pencil him in. Write him down for 2 bases. Luis Hernandez scores. O's lead 5-4. Bases loaded in the home half. Frank Thomas grounded short. Jack Hanahan breaks up the double play there, so O'Neal Brown will score. Game tied at 5. You know what they didn't do there? They didn't assume the double play. Bottom 10, we're still 5-all. Mark Ellis entered the game 0 for his last 16. It takes Lance Cormier deep. His 3rd homer of the season. His first career go-homer. A's win at 6-5 for the 4th straight win. Angels have won 4 in a row, half those against the Royals, and it appears KC has had enough of that. Despite scoring just a league-low 110 runs, they got some offense in this one off Jared Weaver. David DeJesus, 3-run job, 3rd of the season, rolls up 5-1. Zach Greinke showing why his ERA is 2nd best in the American League. Vlad the Impaler goes down. Mike Napoli, just straight cheese he misses on. Rob Quinlan goes down as well. Greinke, just 5 hits in 7 innings pitched, 8 Ks. Alex Gordon, that ball is looking for a fountain or a bullpen or a fan. That's a home run, his 4th. Royals take the lead 8-1. They're going to win it 9-4. Get all.
How am I supposed to know?
Oh, my goodness. Sports Center's top plays, and I say with a hint of sadness, number 10, Fred. Cubs, Reds, Joey Votto, deep, not once, not twice. Do we have 3 times in a game? Yes, and unlike the mascot, his head didn't fall off.
At number 9, Olympic torch movement on Mount Everest. A Chinese mountaineering team carried the Olympic flame to the top of Mount Everest. First time the Olympic torch has ever been taken up there.
Well, sometimes you got to go where there are no protesters. Number 8, Giants, Pirates, Fred Lewis with the C to right. Xavier Nady, nice leaping backhand catch. He snuffs out Fred. More from this game later.
You went C. I'll go hose in a bit. Jazz Lakers at number 7. Darren Williams. Hammer time. And it's a great highlight, but the Jazz lose down 2-0 in the series.
Number 6, Rays, Blue Jays. Scott rolling the sliding backhand stop. Gets Gabe Gross from the seat of his pants. Blue Jays win 6-2. Toronto, that's up in Canada. You know, it's Marines hockey.
Right. Number 5, the Giants and Pirates, Jose Castillo. Watch this backhanded throw across the diamond. I mean, hose me down. That was a hose. Giants lose 3-1.
Number 4, Twins White Sox. Carlos Gomez hits for the cycle in reverse order. Homer, triple, double, infield single. Now, as I understand it, you can go in any order. It's still the cycle. That's just sort of a clever way to do it. Twins win 13-1, a night after getting 1 hit and 0 runs. All hail Carlos Gomez.
At number 3, the Mets and Dodgers. Andre Ethier. Foul ball. You know, they got a lot of foul territory in L.A. No, actually,
not as much, really.
No, in Oakland, they've got a lot of foul territory, not at Dodger Stadium. But Angel Pagan, the tremendous grab going over the railing and able to laugh about it.
Number 2, Mets Dodgers. Ryan Church, the drive, deep, gone. That baby is well hit. But watch this. There's a man with a baby, holding baby, catching that. That's like Michael Jackson holding the kid over the ledge. This is dangerous.
No, it's not.
He doesn't have a papoose or anything. You at least set the kid down.
Doesn't have a what?
I don't know. I call DC up.
A papoose? Marlins Brewers.
A Meziga going back. Alfredo got it! Oh! Amazing! A Meziga! Absolutely incredible!
Webb and the Diamondbacks taking on the Phillies, and Brandon Webb barely breaking a sweat in the 5th. Gets Greg Dobbs ground out to 3rd on the first pitch. Next batter, So Taguchi. 0-1. 3rd pitch of the inning. Takes the ball. 4th pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2.
I thought they retired Gretzky's number.
No, he's wearing 99. So the 5th pitch of the inning, Taguchi striking out swinging. Snyder throws to first to complete the out. He then starts Chris Coast with a nasty curveball for strike 1. That's pitch number 6. The inning ends after 7 pitches in the 5th inning. That is economical. That's truthiness. Webb now in the 9th, and out away from his 13th career complete game. And when it's going good, it's going good. Starts the 1-6-3 double play. D-backs win 8-3. D-Webb now 8-0. Teams going for 6 wins in a row, including the Braves hosting the Padres. That's Buddy Carlisle relieving Jojo Reyes, who left with the blister. Hey, buddy. Kevin Kuzman off a little nubber, and Carlisle tags him out, so the runner is out. The bad news is, so is Carlisle. Now look at this collision. Oh, man. Carlisle left the field woozy, but he said he would be ready to go on Friday. Bottom 7. Braves down 4-3. That pitch gets away. Escobar scores one of 4 unearned runs by Atlanta. Bottom 9, still tied. Braves 0-9 in games decided by 1 run until that. Matt Diaz, the hero. Braves come back to win 5-4. The Braves and Padres, 2 teams going in opposite directions. Braves have now won 7 in a row at home, 6 straight overall. The Pods dropped to 12-23 this season. They didn't lose their 23rd game last season until June 1st.
Astros have won 5 straight, 12-16. Baby got Backy, Brandon Backy. And the Astros looking for the sweep. Nick Johnson hitting .216. He shouldn't be doing that. RBI double to right center, Christian Guzman. Makes it 1-0 Nats as he scores. The leadoff hitter for the Nats is Willie Harris. And that's Backy, and gone. First home run of the season for Harris. Austin Kearns, like Nick Johnson, hitting .216. Doesn't look like it there. John Lannon pitched well again for Washington and the Nationals. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Al Rose's jacket really has me thinking chicken.
Trying to take 3 of 4 from the Detroit Tigers. Josh Beckett, Curtis Granderson, the matchup here we featured. Granderson was good against Beckett. Good and terrible. Bottom 1st. Beckett dials a 93-mile-an-hour fastball to get the Detroit Tiger leadoff hitter. Same matchup in the 3rd. Granderson whiffs on a changeup that clocks in at 88 miles an hour. Bottom 4. Oh, little Uncle Charlie there at 77 miles per. Another strikeout for Granderson. 5th inning now. Kevin Youkilis has played 44 career games against the Tigers. He now has 10 home runs lifetime against them. 4 home runs since Monday for Uke. His 7th of the season, 5-1 Red Sox. Back to Beckett and Granderson. 92 mile an hour worth of heat, 8 Ks, 1,001 for his career for Beckett, as the Red Sox win 5-1.
Following Cliff Lee's excellent start Wednesday, Cleveland goes for the sweep in the Bronx. Last time they'd done that was 19 years ago, a 3-game sweep. Jason Giambi came into the game hitting 157. Will it stay fair? Yes. Yankees lead 3-0. Giambi has 14 hits this year, 6 home runs. Third home run off Bird this season. He had a multi-homer game in Cleveland earlier in the campaign. Robinson Cano's been ice cold. Came into the game hitting 160. He'll take that home run once again off Bird. Kobayashi and now in relief for the Indians. And there's Wilson Betemit. Came in the game hitting 176. So these sub-200 Mendoza hitters all going yard for the Yankees. There's a big stink in New York when Jabba Chamberlain does this after he strikes the people. He kind of twirls around and yells, and people go nuts over that. I don't,
you know,
what's the big deal?
He's emotional.
Mike.
National League Central visiting the Colorado Rockies, bottom 1. Colorado's Matt Holliday. Hot shot to Brendan Ryan at third. Come on, Dorn. Don't give me this Olay stuff. It's ruled a single. Holliday 4 hits. Next batter, Todd Helton. Home run? Double? What's happening? Holliday scores, that we know. Clint Hurdle's like, guys, let's figure out what happened. Well, it appears to hit the yellow line, which means it's still in play. That's a double. Later in the inning, Chris Iannetta with the bags full brings in 2 more. Rockies score 4 in the first, and they go on to win on the final of 9-3. Felix Hernandez, top 2. Plunks Rangers catcher Gerald Laird.
Right on the elbow, 95.
It's got smart. 2 batters later, Ian Kinsler hits back. 2-run homer, his 3rd tater of the year, and the Rangers have a 4-0 lead. Now in the 4th, Kinsler is at the dish again. Hernandez still in there, still plunking people. Hits Kinsler. And he's not pleased. I wouldn't either. Now, next half inning, Kason Gabbert pitching to Richie Sexson. He goes high, but not necessarily high and tight. Sexson doesn't care. He comes out, hits Gabbert in the back with his helmet. One of the few hits Sexson has had this season, by the way. He's pulled away. Hernandez is like, you know what, let's go, let's do this. Sexson, by the way, 6'8", 240, Gabbert, 6'3", 200. Now, this is Milton Bradley, of all people, playing the role of peacemaker. Let's take another look. Like I said, it's high, but not necessarily high and tight. Of course, I'm not sitting in there looking at 90-mile-an-hour plus.
You're wearing makeup.
That's true. Texas goes on to win 5-0. Here's more from Richie Sexson and his explanation of what happened.
It's a rage at that point. I mean, you get out to the mound. I know throwing the helmet, that's the wrong thing. It's a chicken move. I didn't, you know, I know in the end that wasn't the right thing to do, but I lost it right there. I just got to thinking about a lot of things, you know. The whole time when I was going up to the plate, I said, I don't mind getting hit, just keep it down.
Sexton ejected, Gabbert was not. Some craziness in the Twins-White Sox game. Ron Gardenhire back after missing 5 games after the death of his brother. Bottom 5, White Sox down 2-1. Kevin Slowey giving up a 2-run homer to Juan Uribe. White Sox have a 3-2 lead. Bottom 6, runners at first and second. Got a 3-1 count. Paul Konerko checks swing. Umpire Doug Eddings says, you know what, that's ball 4. As you take another look, Joe Mauer eventually asks for an appeal. And the first base ump says that's a strike, so the count is 3-2. Meantime, runners are moving. Matt Guerrier, like my son, just tagging everywhere in his T-ball game.
Never know.
Tags out Jim Thome at second, Carlos Quentin at third. But the key thing is the play was never ruled dead. Ozzie Guillen's like, look at that bleeping guy. He's just tagging everyone. Ron Gardenhire said Eddings waited too long to ask for help, but the key thing was the play was never dead. It was still alive. Gardenhire argued so much he was ejected. Look at that slide there by Juan Uribe to break up the double play, allows a run to score. White Sox go on to win 6-2. It's just their second win in the last 9 games. Giants trying to avoid a sweep in Pittsburgh. Aaron Rowan showing no fear in center. Last week he returned to Philadelphia for the first time since leaving for San Francisco, and he was mocked by the Philly fanatic for his penchant for running into walls. I once had a cousin like that, but very different reason, different story.
You wore a football helmet?
Yeah, specifically this incident right here. Back in May of 2006, Rowan, still with the Phillies.
It's like a flyer.
Yeah, broke his nose. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Back to Thursday, Ryan Domet smacks it to deep center. Aaron Rowan, great catch, but this time stops a little shy of the fence as you take another look. I mean, he had to get surgery on that nose. I think some plastic surgery. Severe stuff for that injury he suffered with the Philadelphia Phillies. Tied at 4 in the 7th. Adam LaRoche singles to right. Jason Bay scores. Bay had 3 hits. Pirates go on to get the sweep.
Ready? Top plays. Last year, John McDonald of the Blue Jays was a great top plays guy. All kinds of crazy plays at shortstop. This year, Tony Pena Jr. That arm's genetic. Dad used to do that. Royals, they'll lose 4-1 to Baltimore.
We could say the same thing about Blanco. MLS, Chicago Fire, DC United, Blanco. The shot on the goal, look how he curves it over. Left footer there, huh? And the Fire win 2-0.
Driver 8, take a break. Nats Astros, Erstad with the fly ball to left. Makoviak lays out, makes a great play in the corner.
Why do you got to do that?
You were intimidated by that man's first name.
And number 7. Oh, now they got to get the Popo involved. Kevin Garnett behind the back to Leon Poe. Man, look at this. KG. Celtics up 2-0.
Ponos, number 6, more Boston sports. Dustin Pedroia believes he has an extra base hit. Matt Joyce says you'll get nothing and like it. I want a hamburger. I want a cheeseburger. Justin Verlander loves it. But again, the Tigers lose 5-1.
At number 5, World Hockey Championships. Canada, Norway, tied at 1, late 3rd period. Big Daddy Cool, Rick Nash. Backhanded goal. Why don't you take over, Butchie? This is your...
There was a car in the stands. Did you see that?
What?
Yeah, the advertisement on the sweater, cars in the stands. Number 4, Bobby Orr. Oh, look at LeBron. It was all downhill from there. Cavaliers lose game 2. Celtics up 2-0.
Number 3, back to Houston. Nationals, Astros. Christian Guzman. A liner snared by Tim Burdack. And that starts the double play. I mean, this is just self-preservation right there. Quick enough to start the double play, but the Astros lose 8-3.
Let's play golf. Players Championship, Michael Allen on the 13th for birdie. It's a tough hole here. You got to get it right to the slope, and then it trickles down, and how about a fresca? You finish it 1 over.
Top play.
There it is.
Arguably the top player in these playoffs, Chris Paul. Unbelievable.
As first reported by Dan Schulman.
It is, it's not so much the speed, it's the subtlety. He'll throw you a head fake here, a shoulder move there, but the Hornets lose 110-99 to the Spurs.